Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ZOWIE NA Open. We are in our first quarterfinal match between two Grandmaster Zerg players spawning in the upper right for Integrity Gaming, I believe it was. He is the yellow Zerg PandaBearMe, who I will call Panda for short because. And in the lower left, another GM Zerg player, the blue Zerg, he is rebOrn.
You can only wonder as to why he had to emphasize that he is Panda Bear.
Was there some confusion? People are like, Panda Bear who? I've never heard of that guy. Oh, me? Of course, guys, duh. I like that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, we can only wonder why rebOrn capitalized the O in his name. The answer was to be awesome.
Yeah, that's always the answer for anyone who capitalizes weirdly. Remember back in like the good old days, like 2000, like early 2000, where like numbers and random capitalizations was like the way to go.
Were those
Yeah.
the good old days? Are you sure? I don't know if
I never did it, so I guess not.
too into that.
Game
Oh.
paused.
That was oh yeah, something's going on here with rebOrn here because his drones should not be doing that. If you guys are new to StarCraft, you want your drones on those minerals consistently.
Did we hide build order?
Good question. Well, we didn't
That's really
host.
important.
Yeah, particularly in this build, as we're seeing, of course, an early pull from rebOrn. Well, let's see what our players want to do here. I mean, obviously, rebOrn is having some kind of a hardware issue. You don't just send your drones out like that for any particular reason. rebOrn just want to go for it. Oh, wait, hold on.
But
It's probably better for a regame here.
it's probably better for him. Like,
I'm gonna have to agree. It's not something you want to try to come back from, really. Remember that GIF where the guy misrallied his workers or whatever, and just none of them were mining, and he just left the game after 3 seconds.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, that GIF's hilarious. Oh, good lord, so funny. rebOrn's gonna restart real quick here. So, yeah. Well, guys, it's best of 3. We haven't, obviously the first game wasn't counted there or anything, so still 0-0. We're going to give rebOrn a sec to get back online here, and hopefully everything will be fixed up with him. Keyboard, mouse, and internet. That is just the trifecta of StarCraft collapsing on you right there. Unfortunate for rebOrn. But I know the feeling. But yeah, guys, if you are just tuning in, it's the ZOWIE Gear NA Open, or NA Cup, whichever you prefer. They're either name is pretty cool. Make sure to spread the word. Love to see more NA tournaments. We see a lot of NA representation there. If you're looking at the bracket, quite a few American flags. So always good to see more representation in the NA scene, as I'm sure everyone can agree. So make sure to show some support. Tweet at ZOWIE Gear, guys. Bring as many of your friends over to the stream as possible. And follow the stream while you're here. If you've got a Twitch account, if you're chatting it up and you're not following our stream, get up on that because there's going to be a lot of events here. It's going to be some good stuff. And of course, during the downtime, you can check out the website. It's going to be ZowieGear.com. Also, check out ClarityGaming.com as we are producing the event. And then, okay, we got rebOrn back online here. And I was going to say, as we were checking out the BlizzCon merchandise store, $100 robe, which I'm, it's not something you automatically discount because it does look really awesome. Even though I never played World of Warcraft, that thing looks really cool.
Yeah, and the current bathrobe that I have is the Star Trek one. But I made the mistake of getting the female one because it's a mistake because it is so flippin' short. Like, damn it. I feel so self-conscious. And like the men's, of course, is like down to your ankles, but the woman, my God, a woman's got to be like midway down the thigh. Like
That just makes me think of Devin Banks' robe in 30 Rock. I'm recently doing a 30 Rock rewatch. His robe was awful short, as Kenneth would say. But yeah,
I can't recall who is Devin.
Devin Banks. He was Will Arnett. He was
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Jack Donaghy's counterpart. Oh,
The
good
first
stuff.
thing I imagined when he said that for some reason was when What's his name had the bad dream. By the way, we're getting back into the lobby, so we'll be going back into this shortly. Where like Liz's like sidekick, like co-producer or whatever, um, the balding guy. He had like bad dream with like Kenneth gets in there and Liz does too, and they both start undressing to like sexy music. And she starts like slapping his butt, and he's like, "Ah, oh, wake up!" And he like falls out of his chair.
Wake up, please wake up. It's
That's good.
that's a class. That's just a classic 30 Rock episode. If you guys don't watch 30 Rock, judge it by that episode because that pretty much embodies the whole series.
Yeah, that was a good
We are
episode.
missing a player here. Who are we missing? We're missing Panda. He's in a lobby, but he's not in the right lobby. There we go.
I've been watching Parks and Rec too because it's pretty similar to 30 Rock, honestly. Just like the way their humor is presented, which makes sense because Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are pretty good friends.
That's true. They do. What that movie they did together? They did. It was Baby Mama. I think that was both of
Yeah.
them, right? That was
Yeah, for some
excellent.
reason Tina Fey doesn't like it was good for like just like watching, whatever date movie, but compared to 30 Rock and Parks and Rec, like their genius, their movies are never that great.
It's true. They're not. They're not as best. Like I recently watched Date Night 2, another Tina Fey movie. I'm not sure if she
Yeah,
wrote, but she was
yeah.
in it, and that was pretty funny. But it wasn't quite as good as 30 Rock. But what is really?
That's a good
What is?
question. Not much.
All right, so not much, but we are loading back into our game, guys. For more sitcom talk, follow us on Twitter. But spawning here on the lower left, the switching up positions here, playing for Integrity Gaming, the yellow Zerg. He is PandaBearMe, and his opponent. Hopefully, everything going okay for him so far. The blue Zerg on the opposite side of Yansu. He is rebOrn.
Is DD like don't die?
Did he say DD? I didn't even catch that.
He did.
GLHFDD. He did. Oh man, that just takes me back to Brood War. I would always say DDDSKA. Don't die, don't suck, kick ass. I was a really, really cool 11-year-old. I was actually the best.
Obviously. Oh no, getting some more lag. How did he get
Oh.
past all the other stations? That's my question.
The other what?
The other stages, like with this lag, how does he?
Oh yeah. I mean, connecting to Battle.net, connecting to the internet, getting into a lobby. Yeah, unfortunately, rebOrn looks to be having some internet issues. Maybe he's an East Coast guy. I don't know if you guys know rebOrn.
Yeah, jeez.
Because any Panda Bear showing his support, but anybody on the East Coast knows that the wind is crazy over here for some reason, and we're in danger of being blown away. It's gonna just flip the whole United States of America in half. But actually, rebOrn mostly dealing with his brother's torrents, apparently. Maybe he's torrenting 30 Rock. Who knows? That'd be pretty meta, huh?
Oh, I don't have breath this time. Oh well.
Oh, all right. Looks like unfortunately rebOrn did get dropped out here. So guys, we're gonna take a moment, see if rebOrn can give his brother a hard punch to the shoulder and stop all the shenaniganery. But we'll be back in just a moment here. We'll get our next match started. All right, everybody. It's time for round 3, which is that's confusing because it's still the first game, but it's round 3 of rebOrn. Hopefully, remaining connected to the internet. So, go with some quick player intros while we keep our fingers crossed. In the lower left, the yellow Zerg for Integrity Gaming. He is PandaBearMe. And his opponent, having a tenuous connection at best, will he survive the opening moment of this game? The blue Zerg, he is rebOrn.
Just imagine him and like beating his brother with a shoe, like a Korean mom or something. I don't know if you ever watched or know anything about, like I have a friend who is like half Korean, her mom's Korean, and we were watching My Sassy Girl, which is a Korean movie, a very funny Korean movie by the way. It's really good, and pretty much she's explained to me that anything that's in a Korean mother's hand, if you do something wrong, that's what she'll beat you with. So it could be a shoe or it could be a vacuum. I was like, oh dear God.
That's great. That is culture right there. That's the stuff you don't hear about, doing whatever I do, because I hadn't seen that before. I need to watch more Korean film, apparently.
Yeah. I watched it long before I was even into like StarCraft, which is what got me into Korean stuff. I don't even remember how I found it, but I did. Probably when I was a weeaboo and I was watching Japanese stuff. Yeah, probably. Dark days, man. Dark days.
Dark days. Everybody had those days. Oh, we're actually seeing. I'm going to change the game here. Talk about StarCraft for a moment. There is a early pool from PandaBear, as a matter of fact. Maybe it's just spawning on the lower left that starts this fever for people. But we are going to see PandaBear kind of do what rebOrn was doing last time.
Mm-hmm. I think rebOrn might have gone for a little bit of an early pull too, like maybe like a 14 rather than 15, but it is going to be up. It's not a hatch first or anything like that, so it's going to be up plenty of time to deal with what PandaBearMe is throwing at him, and it's going to go right underneath an Overlord as well. Most people, when they go for these pools this early, they aren't honestly looking to hide them. Like they're almost always like, yeah, whatever, I want past an Overlord. Oh well. You definitely can not go under the Overlord, just simply go to the left and then up, but it doesn't matter, doesn't care. We'll be seeing. The hatch does go down. This hatch is to buy time because he has 300 minerals anyways. Maybe he'll chomp on a little bit, save him some drone mining time, but no, sends only 2 there and goes right up into the main.
Yeah, he wants to go for the drone kills because, usually you're not going to be able to get the hatch kill. Oh, what a great spawning time for those lings for rebOrn. He is going to almost trap the lings for PandaBear. Now it's going to be down to the ling micro as the hatch continues to get chewed upon by now 4 lings as the rest join up. And this is a pretty smart move from PandaBearMe. He's putting pressure on 2 fronts. Going to try to force the cancel on this hatch. He should actually be able to get it there.
Yeah. You're usually guaranteed the hatch, I would say. You're not really guaranteed the drone kills in the main, as we saw, which is why usually the hatch is a safe bet to get it. The drone, oh, it almost survived, but not quite. rebOrn got a spine color in his mineral line, which is actually an overreaction to what PandaBearMe is doing. Unfortunately, rebOrn can't be sure of what he's doing, though. Those could just be the lings, or there could be a bailing list behind this, and he doesn't want to, play that game.
Yeah, and certainly not in a position where he's comfortable. I'm going to sack an Overlord and lose it to the Queen for that. No, not this early, where you need every larva, every 100 minerals that you can get. And, well, the ling number's pretty equal here. It's going to come down to micro, not something you usually want to kind of throw yourself into. So at this point, he's just going to chase his opponent away. But the hatch cancel was nice. The force in the spine, as you said, very good for PandaBearMe. And we're seeing the yellow Zerg player. His hatch is about a quarter of the way done. He's looking to transition out. rebOrn sees this as well. And we do have PandaBearMe actually starting speed well before his opponent here, too. rebOrn a little late on the speed, gathering quite a bit of gas. There we go.
Not as late as it could be. Sometimes you see players, forget to even get it down and have a really, really late speed. Anything right now, I mean, it's a little behind, actually kind of far behind, but it shouldn't play a huge deal with, appropriate Queen micro and, knowledge and game awareness and stuff like that. But rebOrn, he could be playing it safe for this Bailing Nest, or he could be looking to deal some return damage to PandaBearMe. Of course, he's a little behind, not terribly behind, but still a little, and he could want to be aggressive in this game.
Yeah, tough to say for sure. I mean, he's already got his spine crawler. Wouldn't be surprised to see that. Just go ahead and hop down to the natural once the creep is, there and spawned. But the Bailing Nest, yeah, it's hard to read into whether it's an aggressive or defensive play unless you see the links being made. Now, sometimes you can read into it by the fact where they place it, but in this case, the hatches are so late, both players were kind of forced to put it in their mains. So, rebOrn, well, he's hiding these links in the back here. Okay, he's going to morph a couple banelings, making a few more lings. I think he's just looking to be aggressive with the speed timing. Right into the main. Oh, never mind, he's just going to go engage this.
Now, right into the main's probably the better option. Speed is just now about to finish for rebOrn, so we will be able to catch up with these speedlings. The Spine Crawler helping out a lot here. Usually you don't see that too useful in the main like that, but now it kind of is. He will be moving that down later, but PandaBearMe, now he's trapped. This is really nice for rebOrn. This is definitely what he needed after, that little bit of a build order disadvantage. But now he's going to get all the lings, not even going to waste his banelings on it, honestly. The lings themselves are going to be able to take care of it. And he's going to be able to do a counterattack. And now PandaBearMe, he's going to be prepared for that. He's got 6 banelings, a lot of lings also popping out. Now we're in that weird position in DBZ where they both keep harming out each other with ling, baneling, and whoever has, a chunk of lings left is going to counterattack.
Yeah, let's see how long this phase lasts. Sometimes it can be over pretty quickly. Sometimes players can go at it for many, many minutes. Oh, that was very close there for rebOrn. PandaBearMe has a lot of banelings, though. He shouldn't have any trouble truly defending here. It's going to be up to rebOrn not to lose an overwhelming amount of lings, I would say.
Oh, rebOrn's 3 banelings are looking to go in, but what he really wants is to, explode on all those banelings of PandaBearMe, but PandaBearMe already pre-splitting those banelings. A very nice move, doesn't want to actually accidentally get caught with a big clump, because that would really be a huge opportunity for rebOrn to go in there. And he is going in right now. No, the Spine Claw opposed to 2 queens is honestly too scary for the banelings, and rebOrn is not, committing here. He's not making a dozen banelings, he's just making 3, and going back up to layered home.
Yeah, I like that. You don't want to get too aggressive. A lot of players will be like, okay, I'm going to make my lair, but I'm going to continue pressuring to make my opponent as far behind as possible. And then if you take one bad baneling hit, suddenly you're caught out of transition when you have no lings. So, good thing the rebOrn didn't try to push in too much there. We're going to see PandaBearMe, since so many lings were forced out, he's going to try to go for the counter. rebOrn almost getting caught there, but lings are pretty slippery. And, well, that being said, a lot of these are going to get caught over here. That's unfortunate for rebOrn. That's exactly what you do not want to happen. Now he could be in a period of vulnerability.
Mm-hmm. Still has, defensive structure back at home. That Spine Crawler, a lot of banelings, as well as a few queens. Actually, additional Spine Crawler going down. He's really afraid of losing the game here. Of course, he got the faster lair, and he's going for the faster Spire, so that's probably the better move, is just to be as defensive as possible here. Oh, needs to be so careful not to lose forward ling or baneling just for 2, but no, perfect response, actually, from rebOrn. Very, very nice, and PandaBearMe is also forced to retreat, and they're both probably going to go home and lick their wounds and try and do something, but if PandaBearMe defends if he's going up to Spire, it's going to be a lot later than rebOrn's.
Yeah, very true. Drone count, by the way, 44 to 38 in favor of rebOrn here. So he's got that macro advantage. And, of course, as you mentioned, the early Spire, which is so huge in ZVZ, it just basically means that as long as your muta control is good, your opponent is never going to be able to catch up. We're going to see the Overlord going to be swooping into the main to get a scout on that Spire. Might see it with that scout path. Either way, I'm sure he'll end up checking behind the mineral line. But yeah, the Spire time, and we'll see how much rebOrn is able to save up here for these mutas. Should be able to get a nice, maybe 8 or 10 of them out by the time it's ready. Did he see that Spire? No, he's got to swoop back in there. Although I guess he'll see it with the mutas eventually.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not, a huge, dreadful opportunity right there for PandaBearMe, not like a PVZ, for instance. If you don't see the Spire and the mutas surprise you, well, it can be pretty deadly. This time, he has his own Spire. He's going to have the more mutaless count. And he's going to be probably better off. Usually when a person is, more than a minute behind on the Spire, they might opt not to go for it at all. Of course, PandaBearMe is unaware that rebOrn is getting a Spire, so he didn't really have that choice. And now he's going to be playing a little bit of a catch-up game. The one thing he can do is take out the third. That's going to be the important part of this ZVZ, because they are going for that muta ling bling. ZVZ, all about the third.
Yeah, but these baneling hits a bit too good for rebOrn as he kills the majority of those lings trying to sweep in there. Now the ling advantage is certainly his, with 23 lings to 10 of his opponents. And now, of course, the mutas are out. They have been revealed. We have 8 mutas on the map for rebOrn, with a few more on the way. 9 on the way here for PandaBearMe, but he's being supply blocked by these mutas being out first, another key portion of this earlier Spire. So how is he going to try to catch up? It's going to be really hard. He's probably going to need to lay down some spores and play defensive.
Well, it's currently 9-9, but rebOrn, his are still falling across the map, and PandaBearMe has the defensive edge, so rebOrn will not be able to end the game here. It's still close enough, obviously, like the fact that it was like 40 seconds behind or whatever in the Spires isn't too big of a deal. It's still close enough that defender's advantage comes into effect and all that, and generally in ZVZ, you really can't push forward and win a game until you're absolutely sure you have more Mutalisk, because Spore Claws are so good, and it's so hard to really tell, do I have more Mutalisk?
Yeah, it's hard to count all those flapping wings there. You just got to be really on top of it. Right now, Mutalist count 13-9. We're seeing continued muta production from both of these players. Not surprising out of rebOrn. I wonder if, though, PandaBear is going to try to, transition out at all. There's also something to point out here. The Carapace upgrade is pretty far ahead for rebOrn as well, by about 30 seconds there. So if there is an engagement during that window, we would see a huge difference in how that turns out. So, hopefully for PandaBear, he does not engage at that point. Ling's very active for rebOrn right now. Going to get cleaned up a little bit by these mutas. Wants to make sure not to get caught out of position, though, but it's kind of Wings of Liberty style ZVZ. Ling, muta, going at it. Either player really afraid to commit.
I believe you mean early hots.
Early hots.
Yes.
I guess
Wings
that's
of Liberty was Roach Hydra versus Roach Hydra. Or Roach Infestor, actually. Sorry. But yeah, early hots, this is all you could do, and it kind of sucked a little bit. I mean, for the Zerg players, because you're really forced into doing it and really kind of made the matchup boring, but Now you have a choice, and these guys both choose, coincidentally, to go for Mutalisk. It will be a 20 supply in favor of rebOrn. He has all those lings on the low ground. If he can take the ground fight, it's going to really help the air fight as well. +1 Carapace has finished for rebOrn, but not for PandaBearMe. It's just about to finish, though. Is there a Sporkle at the third? Why is there no Sporkle at that third? That would be so helpful right now.
Oh, it really would. Meanwhile, we have a bunch of lings running into the main of Panda Bear as the air battle rages over the third base. The Muta count is up there for rebOrn, down there for Panda Bear. Queen support helping, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. There are just way too many Mutas left. The lings in the main are going to get cleaned up, but this third is pretty much going to go down as long as he targets those spores.
No, the Spore might get up, though, and a Spore, believe it or not, might be enough to chase away those 8 or so Mutalisks that are down there. Actually, it's more like 10, but... it's so scary. In fact, look at that. It takes one Muta down instantly. They're so strong. This one also so scary. rebOrn has to turn away. Does it matter, though? Not quite. He's up by 70 supply. PandaBearMe's going for a counterattack. This is a strong counterattack. Oh, until the Banelings hit. Never mind. And PandaBearMe just does GG. rebOrn probably really happy with that. That proves that, you know, my disconnects, it was definitely worth it getting it fixed and going on because I could win this.
Yeah, rebOrn was ready to forfeit if he disconnected again. Fortunately for him, not the case. Fortunately for us as well, because we always love to watch a good game, and that was certainly one. rebOrn going to be up 1-0 here. Oh, and he's actually gone offline at this point. Hopefully we'll see him back on there. But it is going to be Panda Bear's map pick, of course, as the loser of that match. It is a best of 3. This is a quarterfinals match, guys. So after this, we're probably going to go right into the semifinals, unless the rest of the quarterfinals happen to not have started. But we've got quite a few more series on the way here. Hopefully, rebOrn will get reconnected as soon as possible here. In the meantime, guys, we're going to go to a short break as we talk to our players. Make sure to visit ZOWIEgear.com, ClarityGaming.com. In the meantime, check out the gear they have to offer, and we'll see you in just a little bit. All right, guys, thanks for sticking around, and welcome back to the ZOWIE NA Open. This is quarterfinal game between rebOrn and PandaBearMe, with rebOrn currently up 1-0. Oh, that is unfortunate. Our observer has been dropped, and we do not have ref. Who's got ref?
Oof.
I think Dalk has ref. Okay, we know Dalk does. Okay, excellent. All right, we're gonna remake, guys. Sorry for the build-up suspense there, but unfortunately our observer dropped, and he's just gonna be key. We do want to see the game. As cool as Radio StarCraft is, it's not quite there yet. The technology is not there yet, so.
Yes, that's the reason. Well, while we are in this lull, I was gonna tell a story about Family Guy.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so you ever seen that episode where they're like trying to figure out Meg's age? They're throwing her birthday party, and they're like, "How old is she?" And they're like, "I don't know. I had it last year," and I just kind of glided over it, and it was like her mom on the piano doing that, like, "You are 16, going on 17" song, except that she was like, "You are," going on. And they go into her room, and they're like, "So, Meg, we're getting your birthday cake, and how many candles should be on it? 15? And she just like looks at them and is like, "What?" And they're like, "Too high, too low." And she like yells at them and calls them a jerk, and they're like, "She's the jerk." But just imagine like doing that with rebOrn, being like 15, too high, too low.
How do we politely ask? Maybe we should ask him. No, we can find out a way about this. We can ask him, like, if he played Pokemon Blue, and like if he did, we can confirm he's probably at least like 17, maybe. There's gamer ways. There's gamer questions. I don't know, guys in the chat. How would you ask someone how old they are? But you don't want to ask them how old they are. You want to figure it out through deduction. Maybe we could ask him. Were we talking about that one time with like 90s products that will be discontinued, Surge Soda, etc.? So we have to ask him
1 to 10.
We have to ask him if he likes all that or the Amanda Show better. That would narrow us down to the right decade.
It's hilarious. What were the things? Captain America. Earth? Water? There wasn't an Earth.
Wait,
before.
Captain America? Wait, you mean Captain Planet?
Yeah, Captain
Planet
America would be like 60 years old. Yeah, no, Captain Planet. There is no Earth, is there? There's fire, water.
No, there was Earth. Earth, Fire, Water, Air, and Heart, right?
There was Earth? Who was Earth?
Was it Wind? Oh, maybe
It's
I'm
not.
wrong.
It's not Earth. It's okay, the Russian chick was water.
To the Google.
No, wait, no, the Asian chick was water. No, wait.
Let's ask rebOrn. See, this would be good because we can two birds, one stone. Maybe you know.
Darn. I thought I had this, bro. All right, so okay. Okay. So the oh no, it was okay, yeah, it was the guy from Africa was Earth. Okay.
Okay, I thought there was an Earth.
Okay.
Earthfrica.
Monty and the Power of Heart. Most useless power.
Power of Heart. Oh god, Power of Heart. I wonder if that was like originally when Captain Planet was, first introduced. I wonder if Heart was like part of that first draft, or if I don't know, some kind of network thing.
I imagine it more like they didn't have a fifth element, and they were like, Heart?
Heart, maybe? Nope. But they did it anyway. All right, guys. We're in this game, and Kuren is not dropped, which is awesome. So, spawning in the upper right portion of Derelict Watcher, currently down 0-1, and we are on his map choice. He is Integrity Gaming's PandaBearMe. And his opponent in the lower left, suffering from some internet issues, not stopping him from playing like a boss. The blue Zerg, he is rebOrn, who, if my sources are correct, has not yet dropped a map in this tournament, and is also a Korean GM.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, that's why we were wondering about his age. How to figure out his age without asking. Which, I don't think he'd really care. He's not a 40-year-old woman. He's not some culture, probably, that hates being asked. But, we're gonna ask him the most secret way possible.
Yeah, it's more of a game at this point. It's like the hunt. Like you can chase down caribou from helicopters, or you can ask them how old they are. I don't know. That I guess the analogy doesn't work particularly well, but it's really about the hunt. It's about finding out how old rebOrn is without directly asking him. It's a game.
I thought you were gonna reference that one story. I forget what it's called, honestly, but it was it's a pretty common story, although people don't know it, I guess. Where the guy gets humans to hunt, and that's his game because he got tired of hunting all the big game, and he's like, the best game is hunting humans. Dun dun dun. Which, funny story while this game gets away, because both people are getting very early hatches. Well, I mean, they aren't. Both people are getting economic builds either way. Yeah, I read that in sophomore year, and then I didn't read it again, even though we were supposed to read it for the beginning of senior year. So I was like, oh, I remember it, I think. And in the senior year English test, it comes and it's like, what was the conclusion to the story? And I was like, well, this is how I remember it. And what I remembered was a fictional ending to the story that I made in sophomore year for a test or whatever. So I gave her the completely wrong fictional answer that I had written, and of course I got an F on that. And she didn't. She just question marked it, and I was like, well, never gonna explain that ever.
Now, see, if this were a movie, you would write that ending and she would have been like, oh, I need to go to the publishers, and then you could have republished the book under your name, and
yeah,
that would have been yours and yours alone. If it were a movie, unfortunately,
if it was if it was my senior year in college, maybe, and I really didn't want an F, but it was my senior year in high school, and it didn't really matter. It was also a quiz, not a test, but.
Ooh. That's true. That's true. Who needs quizzes? Tests,
yeah,
they just have much more weight. Quizzes, I don't even care. I'm not even going to study for this quiz. I'm not even going to read the book. I'm going to make up an ending in my mind.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was supposed to make up an ending. I was supposed to memorize it as the ending. That was the problem. Anyways, this game, it's a going. Meba Boost is one person. The other person just now started it, so a little bit behind, actually way behind. And PandaBearMe, choosing not to go for any early pulls this game. It worked out from, honestly, last game kind of well, but obviously the game did not go in his favor in general.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, we saw rebOrn take that last game. We're seeing PandaBear go for a pretty early baneling nest, though. Back in the mineral line, which rebOrn did not see. So this could get interesting. This could get aggressive real quick, kind of like we saw in the last game as well. Just a kind of a different take with this earlier baneling nest. So where are the lings from PandaBear? He just had his larva inject pop, so he's probably going to make links with these, I would imagine, if he weren't supply blocked. And no, he's just going to make drones. So this early Baneling Nest, that's suspect. I really thought he'd be kind of powering out a bunch of links at this point, but no, he's getting a spine crawler. Panda Bear, you have fooled me. Congratulations, sir.
Gonna play defensive. He scouted at his base, like his opponent's base entirely, and sees that he has Mega Boost way ahead, as well as the Baneling Nest was ahead, but not by too much. And instead he just goes for a lair. We could see Mutas again. This isn't like the map for Mutas, but I guess Yansu wasn't the map for Mutas either, and they still did it, so it is stylistic. I guess there's no really humongously bad map for Mutas anymore.
You know what I think? Yeah, Mutas are they're good. I mean, they're so fast now, it's hard to make a map that's just bad for them. But, you know, I was going to say, I think he thinks rebOrn saw it. Because that Ling did get in the base and it saw, like, the minerals. It just didn't see the Baneling Nest. But I think Panda Bear thinks that rebOrn saw it and thus is metaing him, being like, okay, well, I'm not going to make these Lings and Banelings. I'm going to force you to over-drone, or over-defend, rather. However, rebOrn didn't see it. So it just kind of ends up being even. And rebOrn, as a matter of fact, is going to be the aggressor with 18 Lings coming out as he sees his opponent's Lings coming out. So actually more defensive Lings. The aggression coming from Panda Bear loses 2 Banelings for nothing right away. He does weaken the Spine Crawler, but if he were going all in, that would be useful. But at this point, that's an unfortunate trade for him.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to do anything. This is just more of a poke than anything else. Behind it, he has that layer up and ready to go. Doesn't choose anything there. Okay, it is going to be a Spire with all the forest gases. That's usually what it means. And oh wow, really, really big miscontrol from PandaBearMe. It doesn't get quite as bad as it could have been, I suppose, but still was not paying attention. It looks like rebOrn's also going to go for a Spire, so both players favoring that Meta Ling Bling play over Roach Hydra. They could still go into it, but it's so weird when you both go Spire. You know, usually if one person goes Spire and the other person doesn't, you get like 10 Metas, or you go all out Metas, but 10 Metas and then Roaches and stuff. But when both people go Spire, the first person to go in Infestors is like the ballsy one.
Yeah, the one who's just ready to be like, all right, I hope my opponent doesn't attack me for a minute and a half, because I really need Infestation Pit and Fungal Growth to finish. But, yeah, we'll see with these exact same Spires. We could see Mutas very well all the way till the end of the game. Oh, these Banelings are at the perfect spot. Oh, Lord. Panda Bear. I feel like the Zerglings enlisted in Panda Bear's army are just, like, unfortunate. He loses an unfortunate amount of Zerglings to Banelings, man. It is painful. And look at all these Lings for rebOrn now. That was such a huge hit. This third is gone. Never even stood a chance after that Baneling.
Last game we saw both thirds get up really nice and easy, honestly. All the gases were taken and stuff like that. Now Panda Bear is going to be down a third in a very key style where you need that third. You need those extra additional 2 gases. And this Ling attack is still going on. This is kind of scary, honestly, for Panda Bear. The Mutas are not on their way out. That's not going to save him. He's just going to go for Ling Bling. And all the explode, not only in the Queen, but on some drones as well, weakening a lot of them. And the drone... Oh, okay. The Panda Bear does GG. rebOrn wins 2-0.
Yeah, well, Panda Bear took some really, really bad hits there. I mean, the whole game, honestly, he lost Lings through and through. And, you know, with those good hits, rebOrn's like, all right, I just killed a bunch of your stuff, and I have a lot of stuff left over. It's pretty much as simple as that. I'm going to go run into your base, probably maybe kill you. If not, certainly get some drone kills. And it ended up being both. Drone kills into the victory. So rebOrn going to continue his what's the word for it? I guess flawless streak here with a 2-0 against PandaBearMe. So GG to rebOrn.
Flawless victory.
Flawless victory. What was that game? Was it Hero against someone in some MLG? He proxy void rated Terran.
Yeah.
Who was that? Do you remember? I know it was Hero, but I don't know who else.
No, there was also a game where it was someone beat someone with like 2 stalkers.
Oh.
Like they beat a Terran with 2 stalkers.
Was that Deer versus Nathanius? Because I remember Deer did that.
Yeah, no, that was a specific build. That was like a 10 gate, and it was supposed to look humiliating and stuff like that. The one I'm talking about was like 2 years ago, and it was a regular opener for PvT, and he just walked across the map with 2 stalkers and beat him.
That one hurts. That is painful. But as a Protoss, I can appreciate that.
Isn't it so weird that we casted Deer versus Nathanius, and back then it was like, Deer's a really good, he's a Kessel player, but he's not really made any, strides or anything like that. He's really an up-and-comer, and then BAM!
Bam, GSL. Bam, WCS.
Exactly. We were there first. Hipsters.
Getting on the deer train early. Sorry, the lobby is full. Or do trains have lobbies? I guess they have compartments. I don't know. I don't go on trains much. Turns out, not a regular part of my day. But ooh, we've got our next series lined up, and this is quarterfinals. I gotta double check. No, it's got to be semis because. No, it's quarter. Okay, yeah, we have another quarterfinal. It's a. Excuse me. It's gonna be Bones, formerly of Clarity Gaming, now currently on Roots Seed Academy, up against a stream favorite Arthur.